Goodness gracious.
He's actually sitting at the back. Ooh, that's nasty.
Oh, steady on. Oh, that crash looked a little bit bad down there.
Sure, pro cycling is about watts, winning, and surviving 5-hour stages with 2 bathroom breaks.
And he's changing his jersey. Tom Dumoulin. Oh no! No!
There's no guarantee of safety, sportsmanship, or steering. But let's be honest, the real reason we keep watching isn't just the racing. It's the moments that make us laugh out loud. Today we're diving into the side of the sport that proves cyclists aren't just world-class athletes, they're world-class entertainers. And with over 100 years of racing, crashes, and very questionable fashion choices, cycling has gifted us non-stop chaos. So buckle up for some of the funniest, most absurd moments in pro cycling history. Marc Soler, Vuelta 2020. If you've ever wondered what would happen if a rider just refused to be a teammate, Marc Soler answered that question on live television. This is the Vuelta a España 2020, Stage 9 mountain finish. Here's Soler in the breakaway, at the front of the race, 5 kilometers from the summit. He's cooked the entire field and is riding solo to victory. Except there's a problem. The team car orders, "Marc, wait for Nairo." Soler's reaction wasn't subtle. He looked like a kid who got told to share his last slice of pizza. But this wasn't a joke. Movistar wanted him to sit up so that Nairo, climbing from the GC group, could catch him and gain time. For a second, Soler forgets strategy. To him, this was betrayal captured in 1080p. Soler obeyed, barely, slams the brakes, shakes his head, nearly throws his bike. He gets caught, but not by Nairo. Pogacar rockets past and takes the win. And just like that, the stage was gone. The next day, he apologized, not for what he did, but for not hiding how much it sucked. "I regret my attitude. I was just disappointed." Honestly, so were we. But that drama? Still better than Movistar's entire 2021 Netflix season. But if that was peak chaos on 2 wheels, the next one is pure wrestling. No race tactics, no team orders, just a civilian body slamming a cyclist into a river. Fan yeets cyclist into a river, aka the original sin of spectating. Fans might love front row seats, but sometimes they take involvement a little too literally. A local European race in tight corners quickly goes from a race event to something else entirely. 2 amateur cyclists. One rider bumps the other straight to the ground. The guy who crashed is stunned, trying to process what happened. The other, already remounting like nothing happened. And then, bam. And if that clip just made you gasp, laugh, just wait, because it gets worse. Right after that WWE display, the race just goes on. Business as usual. This wasn't just a crash. It was the original sin of cycling spectating. But don't worry, not every wild cycling moment ends with someone in a river. Some just end with pure serotonin, or as I like to call it, Pog mode on. Tadej Pogacar, the human croissant. He's not just a 4-time Tour de France winner, he's a walking meme generator. Take this clip for example. Mid-race, full gas, but man's just vibing with a baguette like it's Sunday brunch. This man's not wired like the rest of us. He does a bit of everything, like the time he dropped back to grab a bottle, not for himself, for another rider from a different team.
And there's a leader for you. Brings a bottle for Sivakov.
Or the moment he teased Matej Moric post-stage win, pointing, laughing, cracking jokes like he's mic'd up for a stand-up, cracking jokes in the middle of interviews.
Yeah, it's nice weather. Joking, it's not nice weather, but...
The Peloton may run on watts, but this man runs on smile per hour. But if Pog mode is sunshine and smiles, then Mark Cavendish is a one-man fireworks show. Fast, loud, and occasionally flat on his back.
Cavendish down, and this is not good news.
The Adventures of Mark Cavendish. In a sport full of lean climbers and poker-faced tacticians, Mark Cavendish is the one guy who always raced like it was his last shot and celebrated like he just won the lottery. Over 160 pro wins, a Tour de France stage record, and a sprinting legacy that basically defined a generation. But it's not just the speed, it's the personality. Exhibit A, an excited Cav climbs up ready to celebrate. Gravity just says, nah.
Whoops.
He goes down like a dropped beetle. Honestly, legendary stuff. But Cav isn't the only one who's struggled with champagne protocol. But it's not only his win gone sideways. Imagine you finally win a race, then time to celebrate. You twist, you yank, the cork is still in there like it's glued by UCI regulations. And then there's Biniam Gamai, who was able to grab a historic stage win and tries to get his bottle to celebrate, pops the cork, boom, this happens. He tries to play it off with a smile, but ends up leaving the podium and the entire race. He literally injured himself celebrating the victory. Legend. But that's nothing compared to the day the Peloton's biggest rival wasn't another rider, it was made of steel. Number 6. Peloton vs Train. Paris-Roubaix 2015. It's Paris-Roubaix, one of cycling's most brutal races. Cobbles, crashes, carnage. But apparently, what the Peloton fears more than a 60 km/h crosswind is people who are not subbed. The entire peloton is thundering toward a level crossing, and just as they reach it, the gates start to drop. Now, any normal person would stop, but this is the peloton. We do danger. Seconds later, and I mean seconds, a full-speed train roars through the crossing like a final boss. No one was hit, but for a moment, it was less Tour de France and more Fast and Roubaix. And the best part? The race just kept going. Just part of the job, I guess. And speaking of jobs, some cyclists do a little multitasking, racing, hydrating, and occasionally dropping a full Spotify single on the team radio. Tadej Pogacar, Radio Tour's breakout star. For some riders, team radio is all strategy. For Tadej Pogacar, it's a full-blown open mic session. Imagine this, mid-stage in Zone 5, and suddenly the radio lights up. But it's not a team call, it's a concert. Yup, that's Tadej, live on the mic. And I'm not saying he's dropping an album, but if he does, I'm buying. But just when you thought things couldn't get any more random than Radio Tour Cycling's Got Talent, the broadcast director decided to hit shuffle on real life. Animals on track. Because just when fans were begging for a front row seat to a GC battle, the camera crew said, nah, let's show a goat launching an attack on the riders instead. If there's one thing cycling broadcasts love more than race action, it's wildlife content. And sometimes that content doesn't even wait for a camera cue. Tour de France, riders in full flight when a literal horse clears a fence and joins the race. Not beside it, in it, galloping shoulder to shoulder like it's going for a stage win. If you ask me, he was winning. But it doesn't stop there. More wildlife content, director. A dog takes one look at the peloton and decides this is my turn to run straight through it. Thankfully, no crash, just pure chaos on 4 legs. Honestly, what are you doing, guys? Nature 3, Peloton 0. Oops, I forgot to bike. 3 days of Japan. Sometimes the entire peloton is pedaling, but not biking. These are the moments where physics loses and stupidity wins. Just imagine it's a calm day at the office. 2 guys rolling at a smooth, casual pace. Everything's chill until this rider forgot to bike. The front wheel clips the rider ahead and the man folds like a lawn chair at a barbecue. It's violent. It's sudden. It's kind of beautiful. Oh, here's another one. And another. Honestly, I don't know what to say anymore. But what I can say is that no cycling chaos compilation would ever be complete without at least one wholesome Cavendish moment. Except this time, he made history and nearly crashed immediately after. Cavendish historic win/blooper moment. Mark Cavendish sprints to the line and makes history. 35 stage wins. More than Merckx, more than anyone. The record. His record. The crowd cheering. The peloton still gasping. And Cav, he throws both hands up in the air and almost goes flying off the bike. He wobbles, but he manages to hold on. It was nearly the most Cavendish way to make history. Win the stage, then immediately crash. But he didn't. He held it. A career full of crashes, comebacks, broken bones, and one glorious champagne moment that actually went right. But here's the thing. Cycling, like life, isn't just about what's and winning. It's about those perfectly dumb, perfectly human moments that make the suffering almost worth it. Mark Cavendish didn't just break a record, he nearly broke physics. And somehow, that made it even better. Because even in a sport built on pain, there's always room for joy, and maybe a mid-race baguette. So let me know, what was your favorite moment? Which clip made you laugh or flinch? And if you thought this was peak cycling chaos, oh boy, wait until you see the day the Peloton crashed into a paddling pool. See you in part 2. And hey, Pog mode still on.